Okay, I'll admit it. The golf swing can be pretty complicated and there's a lot to remember. But if you can set up properly and take those things off of your checklist and focus on the movement, that's gonna make your swing a lot better and more consistent. So let's learn the basics of the setup, everything from head to toe, how you're holding the club. How do we set up to make sure that the chances of executing a good swing are maximized? Let's take a look. One of the easiest things to fix and check on in your setup is your ball position. When we say ball position, we're talking about where that ball sits between your right and your left foot. With a 7-iron as a right-handed golfer, it should be slightly closer to my left foot than my right foot. A wedge is going to be slightly closer to the back foot, and a driver is going to be up towards the left foot, really off the left instep. The stance width should be shoulder width at a 7-iron, slightly inside shoulder width with the wedge. And because of the big swing, the driver should be a little bit wider than my shoulders. The proper setup is always going to have my right shoulder underneath my left shoulder. And that's true for a wedge, 7-iron, and it's even more important with the driver. The last thing that we're going to look at from the front on view is my grip. Your grip is the engine of your swing. It's the point of contact from your hands to the club. It is vitally important. What I always look for in my grip is that my V's are matching up. The V meaning the area between my thumb and index finger. That V should always be pointed up towards my right shoulder. On my top hand, my left hand, I want to be able to see 2 knuckles. The middle knuckle of my left hand should be visible from looking straight down. That's going to ensure that my club face stays square. Almost everybody has too weak of a left hand when they start. The club face stays open. That's going to be your number one culprit for a slice. 2 knuckles. As for the down the line view, I always want to make sure that my arms are hanging from my shoulder. It should always look like the shoulder is right on top of the elbow and the wrist. I should never be reaching out, and I should never be cramped either. I have a slight flex in my knee, but I'm not over flexed. It should be slightly in front of the ankle, but never out towards the toes. Your weight should remain in the balls of your feet at setup. My wedge will be ever so slightly more hinged over than my driver is. However, there's not a big difference as far as my setup from 7-iron to wedge to driver in this down the line view. Admittedly, it's a lot to remember. However, the good news is that golf ball waits for you to hit it. So as you're practicing your setup, check in on it. Make sure that your ball position is correct. Make sure that you're set up with your right shoulder slightly underneath your left. Make sure that you're set up exactly how you want to. Check in on the camera. Sometimes feel and reel can be very different. So make sure from front on and down the line, you're set up how you want. If you set up properly, your chances of executing a good swing are way higher than if you're set up improperly. Good luck and let me know what you think.